Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. I am Jaswinder aka Shah. This is Hathoda Singh, which is hammerhead lah. So Hathoda means hammer in Punjabi. Oh yeah, don't be afraid. He's on our side. This guy is Lieutenant Adnan. For those who don't know who is Lieutenant Adnan, you all can Google up because that's basic history knowledge for Malaysians. Why I made this video is because one of my followers have requested me asking how do I make my own turban, and he wanted a video to show that how I tie my own turban. Sorry bro for uploading it late. He also ties UK style Shahi pagar, but then definitely each person ties a turban looks different from another guy, right? So some guys will be tying a bit more rounder, a bit more bigger. Some guys will be tying a bit more smaller turban, and some guys their turban will be pointing out. So it depends on the skills that you use. So in this video I will be teaching you guys how I tie my own turban, how my turban look like this. The main differences in my turban is that it looks a bit more rounder because I have a base inside, like a small cloth which is around 2 to 2.5 meters. I tie it as a base, so that's why my turban is a bit bigger and rounder. And also other than that, it depends on the cloth that I use to tie my turban. So this cloth is the biggest and the most thickest cloth I have. So this is the biggest turban I have in my turban collections. So there are turbans that will be a bit more smaller than this, but I simply pick this so that you all can see how big my turban can become depending on the cloth. So in this video I'll be guiding you guys what I do to tie my turban, and it's not necessary for you guys to follow 100% because it's just my personal skills and it's my way of doing it, and there is no any right or wrong in tying a turban. And another thing to be noted here, that this video is not for beginners. This video is for those people who already know how to tie a turban, UK style Shahi pagar. It's just that how to improvise. Maybe you can learn something from this video and add into your turban tying, improvise it. So this video is about how to make your turban look like how my turban look like. So let's not waste any time. Let's get to it. Okay, so first we will be starting with my joda. So how I tie my joda is by making it very loose, and I put it in front of my forehead right here. So I tie this small turban because with this my hair doesn't open, my joda don't open, it stays where I tied it. So maybe because it's a habit, I've been tying this since small, so it's up to you, right? But I tie this. This also now for those who are going to use kapra like this for a joda, just tie it very loose. Okay, see, it's loose, as loose as that. And then our kanga, for those who are amritaris, we put our kanga in our turban, right? Okay, the next thing, I also tie patka. Some people can straight away go to the turban base, but for me, since day one I've been using patka, so that's how I tie my turban. So it just makes things easier because patka holds the joda, and while tying the turban base, my joda doesn't move. So you see my joda is still in front of my forehead, right? That's how my turban shape appears to be sharp a bit. And then tucking your hair in with barge. Now we cannot make this patka to be visible at here. We have to put it a bit up. So here will be our 50, right? This is what makes my turban look different. This is the base. So with this my turban looks a bit big. This is my biggest turban. Most of my turban sizes depends on the cloth that I use. So this is the thickest cloth that I have. So with this cloth, it will become quite big. The cloth for the base can be around 2 meters, 2 meters and a half should be okay lah. The normal round turban that we tie, the round turban I meant here is the one that we tie normally in camps, a very short one, right? So what I do with the base is I create the inside shape and I make my turban a bit bigger because I'm adding more cloth into the turban. So here I fold it into half and I go above my jura. So this will hold the jura even more. And I go on my ears. So here I will make it loose a bit. I leave around this much space. That is so that my ears don't pain if I pull the turban a bit tighter. It's not that necessary to follow exactly how I do it, but it's just the tips that I use for my turban, right? So you see now when I went down all the way, it's quite low, right? So I do this, make it go up a bit. If not, this part will be visible when your turban is tied. The turban will be until here and this part will be hanging until here, so it doesn't look nice. So when I make tight, I put it up. This part still is loose. If just now when I went one round here, the first round, and I pulled this part tight, when I try to put this inside, make it a bit up, this part will be too tight for my ears. So you see, some people will complain their turban is very painful, and most of the time this part is the most painful one. So this is why I keep my first layer very loose. So that's the only thing for the base. Then we go for the 50. So you'll notice if your 50 have extra sides like this, just put it somewhere. Okay, so next is our turban. Like I said, this video is not for the beginners, so I am not going to teach about how to fold and what kapra to buy. Kapra means cloth, for those who don't understand Punjabi that much. So in this video I already folded my turban, and this turban is more than 5 meters. When I tie, it becomes around 7 layers on my head. Okay, so this is how I tie. The inside layer is folded like this, so that it doesn't appear to be as same as this. So it will be, coming out at certain points. For those who don't understand this part, it's okay, because this is not for beginners. This is for people who already know how to tie turban. So here I don't put in my mouth, I just leave it enough here. This much should be okay for me. And then I go first layer. Like I said, first layer is supposed to be loose, so this first layer is also quite loose for me. So here is my point where I separate all the layers one by one. This point is supposed to be the same line with your nose, right? So here starts my second layer. So from here we go like this. Again at the same point, I start my third layer, right? So all my layers are separating from the same point, right? Some people don't have this point. Some people, their layer will keep going up and up and up. So it depends on you, it's your choice. You see, I'm adjusting all my palette because they were quite low. So while tying, you can still adjust your palette. It's not, you can look in the mirror and correct it back. Okay, so before I put it in, I'll take out this layer and open up. So this is the cloth I left just now. So you see, you don't need to pull until your mouth because it's unnecessary. And some people believe even after the third layer or the fourth layer, you still have to hold it until the end of tying the turban, but it's not. After the first layer or second layer cross this behind part, it's already being holded by your turban layers. So it won't become loose if you let it go. And for this Shahi Pagar UK style, I find it's very unnecessary for holding it in the mouth, and it's just extra work. So you can just leave it like how I left it behind, extra a bit until here, and then I just put it in. So this is what I meant just now. If this was hanging, it was here, it would be visible, right? So this is why I tucked it in just now. So if the first layer was too tight, it will be putting a lot of pressure on your ears when you tuck it in. So that's why I left it a bit loose, so that when I tuck it in, it doesn't become tight. So the final part will definitely be the khanda. So if you feel your 50 is too long, or you want to make it shorter, just do it with the barge. So there you go. This is how I tie my turban. So see you guys in my next video. Till then, this is the shark keeping you sharp. Grrr.